funding for SNAP benefits runs out in less than a week, how Oklahoma food pantries are responding, and how police tracked down 37 pounds of marijuana stolen from a local cannabis farm.
Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 5 hurricane in the Caribbean. We'll be doing team coverage on the potential impacts. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emma McAndrews.
And I'm Kevin Daniel. It's been a bit of a dreary day today, some lower temperatures after a rainy weekend here in Oklahoma.
It sure has. OU Nightly meteorologist Scotty Allen has more on what the fall temperatures we're seeing. Scotty, what can you tell us that's coming up?
Yeah, that's right. It's been a pretty cloudy day out here. We've had temperatures in the 60s here in the metro, and it's been in the low 70s there in the south portions of Oklahoma. And now we had that rain over the weekend. We had about an inch of rainfall here in Norman, an inch and a half in Oklahoma City, and 2 to 3 inches there in northern Oklahoma. Now this is depart from the average, as we average around 3.2 inches of rainfall here for October, and we had about 2 inches so far in October. And we had an inch of that just in the last few days. Now I'm going to be talking about some chances of rain here coming up, and then the low moving through. Back to you all at the desk.
Thanks, Scotty. It's day 27 of the government shutdown, and federal workers have missed a full paycheck. The shutdown is affecting major essential services. According to flight tracker site FlightAware, today more than 4,000 flights are delayed and over 100 flights have been canceled. The USDA says it will not tap into its contingency fund to cover food stamp benefits next month. As a result, roughly 42 million Americans will not receive critical food assistance from the Supplemental Nutrition Program, also known as SNAP. OU Nightly reporter Macy Hansen spoke with local food banks here in Norman to see how they are preparing.
Mission Norman is just one of many local organizations struggling to keep up with the demand in food, as the ongoing government shutdown leaves SNAP benefits and uncertainty, and families with empty tables.
And we just need to support our local food banks, which then partner in a lot of food pantries.
Starting November 1st, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, may temporarily freeze benefits for families across Oklahoma, affecting nearly 700,000 people who rely on that support each month.
I'm going to really be depending on the food banks, stuff that I can make a meal out of, or if I'm just going to be eating soup for the month.
With benefits paused, many families can't afford groceries and are turning to food pantries and community donations just to get by. As demand grows, places like the OU Food Pantry are preparing for an even greater need. Staff say they're hearing rising concerns from the people they serve, but they're staying positive and promise to do everything they can to help.
There's worry and concern on a lot of folks' plates of how they're going to maybe take care of their loved ones, take care of themselves. We want to rest assure everybody that we got you covered. You know, if you're utilizing us or if you haven't utilized us before, check us out. We can help in any way we can.
Even with the uncertainty, food pantries statewide are determined to make sure no Oklahoman goes hungry. Reporting from Norman.
Thanks, Macy. Those looking to help can drop off non-perishable food donations at the OU Food Pantry on Kate Center Drive or Mission Norman on Lindsay Street.
The Cleveland County Sheriff's Office is still investigating a case of 37 pounds of marijuana that was stolen from a licensed marijuana grow operation. On Saturday, deputies responded to a burglary alarm that they recovered all the stolen marijuana inside of a van after a pursuit that ended in Purcell. The van crashed into a building, and the police were able to get a hold of the van passenger who fled on foot. Officers arrested one man by the name of Dang James Magong. The charges include second-degree burglary.
Former OU football player Adrian Peterson remains jailed after a Houston arrest was made on a gun and DWI charges. Just southwest of Houston, the former Minnesota Vikings running back was detained Sunday morning for unlawfully carrying a weapon. He was originally pulled over for speeding. This would be Peterson's second DWI charge in 7 months, and there is no attorney listed to speak on the former NFL player's behalf. And a Category 5 hurricane is drawing closer to Jamaica, already blamed for at least 6 deaths in the Caribbean. OU Nightly's Caroline Kramer has that and the rest of today's international and national headlines from the News Center. Caroline.
Yes, Emma, forecasters are expecting Hurricane Melissa to be the strongest storm to ever hit Jamaica. Residents are preparing for the catastrophic flooding, landslides, and widespread damage. The hurricane is expected to make landfall tomorrow morning and is on track to hit Cuba the next day. Americans in the path of the hurricane are encouraged to shelter in place. OU Nightly's meteorologist Aiden Bruns will have more on this Category 5 hurricane later in the show. President Donald Trump is in Asia this week for the diplomacy tour. Over the weekend in Malaysia, the president signed a peace declaration between Thailand and Cambodia, a trade deal between the U.S. and China drawing closer. The president has a high-stake meeting scheduled with China's leader later this week. Tomorrow in Japan, the president plans to meet with the country's first female prime minister. And 2 suspects are in custody after being accused of stealing the crown jewels from the Paris Louvre Museum. Investigators say a German company's lift was used to reach a second-story window during the break-in. Now the same German company has turned the heist into a viral ad campaign.
We didn't want to see our equipment used in such a context, of course. But once we knew no one was harmed, we decided to approach it with a bit of humor. After all, if even art thieves choose our lifts, we must be doing something right.
The investigation is ongoing, but the whereabouts of the stolen items remain unclear. Emma, Kevin.
Thanks, Caroline. As Halloween approaches, shoppers are looking for the best places to buy their trick-or-treating needs. Hear just how much they'll be spending this spooky season.
October is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and one on-campus organization is raising funds and making a difference. Next on OU Nightly.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Mariella!
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
On with no end in sight. The president previously assured members of the military they would be paid, but that may not happen. OU Nightly's Madison Deely has that and more in today's Money Matters.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. won't be able to pay service members if the shutdown continues. Bessent told CBS News Sunday morning the government should be able to pay troops until November 15th. The president recently directed the Pentagon to use unspent research and development funds to pay members of the military in October. Officials warn the move was just a temporary fix. 154 Americans get health insurance through their employer, and many of their costs are about to go up. The total cost of health benefits will rise by 6.5% next year, the highest increase in 15 years. According to Healthcare Systems, Marketplace customers could see premiums more than double next year if Affordable Care Act enhanced tax credits expire. On Friday, little kids will be running through neighborhoods trick-or-treating, and Americans will pay the price. According to the National Retail Federation's annual consumer survey, Americans are expected to spend an average of $114 per person. That adds up to a record high amount of $13.1 billion for the country. Americans will also spend more than $4 billion just on costumes alone. If you're looking for cheaper ways to celebrate, discount stores are at the top of the nation to find all of your spooky holiday needs.
Thanks, Madison. And it's not just Halloween that is in October. It's also a special month that honors breast cancer awareness. The OU Relay for Life chapter is doing everything it can on campus to help support those in need. OU Nightly's Hallie McPherson has a story.
When I was in middle school, my mom was actually diagnosed with breast cancer. She needed surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation, so kind of the whole shebang. I also have 4 sisters, so we're a pretty big family, and she never missed anything, like not a soccer game, not a basketball game. Oh, sorry. And that was really cool to me, so like to see her strength, I was like, I want to do something to kind of honor her. Oh.
Stella Revelis serves as the chair for Relay of Life, which is a branch of the American Cancer Society at OU. They spend their time fundraising along with much, much more.
There's 3 main portions of Relay for Life, so it's kind of the fundraising for support and research, as well as giving back to cancer communities around us. So we do a lot of volunteer work in the Oklahoma City area. And then the final way is kind of lawmaking. So we also work with, it's called ACS CAN, and they work on improving laws for cancer patients to kind of protect their health care.
And they set their goals big for a big community.
Our goal this year is actually to raise $100K, which is a little lofty compared to what we've raised in the past, but I think there's a lot of drive on campus, so I really believe we can do it.
And Stella says you can also take action to protect yourself from breast cancer.
The most important thing is getting screened early. It's for sure a scary process. I know mammograms are uncomfortable and a lot of people just kind of put it off, but that truly could save your life. And it's scary, but it's a lot easier than going through cancer treatment and kind of putting yourself and your whole family through that.
Hallie McPherson, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Hallie. You can also get in on the action by going to OU Relay for Life's Instagram and clicking the link in their bio.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, Hurricane Melissa continues its push towards Jamaica.
Our OU Nightly meteorologist will have the projected impacts of the strongest storm of the season coming up.
And chilly weather coming up. We got some potential for some frost. I'll have the details coming up.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. We had a nice cloudy day today. We have temperatures in the 60s, mid-60s, feeling like fall out there. Well, why would we have that fall? It's also because we had, and then temperatures across the metro are also in the 60s, and then 70s down there towards the south. And then this is going to change as we got a low pressure system that's going to be moving through, bringing us some scattered showers tonight. We're going to be in the high 50s, but it's not going to be lasting too long, as we're going to be in the high 50s there tomorrow. And then as we go for the future cast with that rainfall coming through, we're going to be having rain showers around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So may have a little sprinkle or two before classes, but then that's going to brush off by the early afternoon there during your Tuesday. And then through the temperatures are just going to be decreasing throughout the day. We start off at 58 there in the early morning, and then it's just going to be dampering down all the way down to the 40s there as we go into Wednesday morning. And what's driving all of that? Well, that's because we got all of these winds coming through. So we're going to have 10 to 20 miles per hour there into early tomorrow morning. And then as we got that cold front coming through, we got the 30 mile per hour wind gusts there behind it. And then they're going to be sticking around there throughout Tuesday into all the way through Tuesday afternoon, and then it dips down there in the evening, but then comes back there early Wednesday morning as we got another 30 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts for most of the state, all coming from the north, and then it's going to be only dipping down to about 15 to 20 miles per hour there. So with that, we're going to be chilling down. So we start there 50 here as you go into Tuesday morning, and then Wednesday morning 43, and then Thursday morning we've got that 39, and then it warms back up there with that 39. There could be a chance for frost here for portions of the state. There out towards Guyman, Woodward, Elk City, there's a high chance of frost there as they'll be around freezing, and then it dampers down to about medium chance there for portions of western Oklahoma. And then here in the metro, we may have a very slight chance there as we'll be in the high 30s right now, but then it could possibly be there at freezing. Now, as we go throughout the rest of the week, we're going to be in those high 50s Wednesday and Thursday, and then tampering down into the 60s, and weather gets pretty sunny there. So it's looking not too bad here in Norman after we got that low pressure system and the frost. But then as we go into looking at the weather system, though, there's that hurricane there in the Caribbean. We've got that Category 5 Hurricane Melissa there and potentially impacting Jamaica. My fellow student meteorologist, Aiden Bruns, will have the details coming over, tossing it over to you.
Hurricane Melissa rapidly intensified this weekend and was upgraded to a Category 5 hurricane this morning, becoming the strongest hurricane of the season. Hurricane Melissa has now reached sustained winds of 175 miles per hour. Melissa is tracking to the northwest and is expected to reach Jamaica tomorrow morning. A cold front pushing east across the east coast this week will likely keep Melissa from making landfall in the U.S. Rainfall totals are expected to reach up to 30+ inches of rain in some areas of Jamaica and Cuba, and we'll be tracking all of that throughout the rest of this week. Emma, Kevin.
Thanks, Aiden. Coming up in sports, some former Sooner stars shined bright in the pros this weekend.
And the reigning NBA champions look to keep on rolling against a Norman native.
I'll have more on that, and how one former Sooner who made it to the next level did something that he never did while wearing the crimson and cream. I'll have all that and more next in sports.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Oh, right. Look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Hello, I'm Chris Holman, and it's time for sports. Ole Miss made the trip to Norman for the first time ever this weekend. OU Nightly sports reporter Dalton Davis was at the game and has a recap of the Sooners' performance.
In a top 15 SEC-ranked matchup, Ole Miss visited Oklahoma for the first time in Norman. The game didn't disappoint as Isaiah Zatanga opens up the second quarter with a 76-yard touchdown from John Mateer, showing off his trackside, tying the game 10-10. After this score, OU was scoreless until about 10 minutes into the third when Xavier Robinson turned into Lightning McQueen Ka-chow for a 65-yard touchdown, the longest of his career. The Sooners took the lead, and then Ole Miss started to take control after a fumble from Zatanga. Trinidad Chambers hits Winston Watkins on a 43-yard bomb to set up the closer for the Rebels. OU lost 34-26, and they are now sitting at 6-2 on the season and 2-2 in the SEC. Their playoff chances have taken a dip. However, they are playing all ranked matchups left for this season, so there's still a chance. After a tough loss like this, the Sooners are wondering what comes next.
This is a painful one, but this is a team that's got great, strong character, great leadership, highly invested guys, and a group of guys that will respond. So it starts with us as coaches and being able to find a way to get our guys better.
We got a lot of fighters in here, and nobody's going to just, lay down and give up. Nobody's going to give up. That's not who we are on this team, and that's not the coach we have and the coaches we have and the leaders we have. So just, take a moment to reset, reflect, and we got to do it better. It starts with me.
Reporting from Owen Field, Dalton Davis, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Dalton. Now time for some Sooners in the NFL. Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers sailed right through New Orleans this weekend. Mayfield's 152 passing yards helped lift Tampa Bay to a 23-3 win. And Jalen Hurts and the Eagles soared over New York, with Hurts throwing for 179 yards and 4 touchdowns, leading Philadelphia to a 38-20 win over the Giants. And Samaje Perine and the Bengals hosted the other team from New York. Perine rushed for 94 yards and a touchdown on just 9 carries. But that wasn't enough as the Jets got their first win of the season, 39-38. And earlier today on a Rivals live stream, wide receiver Jasir Rogers flipped his commitment from Penn State to Oklahoma, bolstering Oklahoma's 2026 recruiting class. No Luka, no LeBron, no problem. Former Sooner Austin Reeves racked up a career-high 51 points Sunday night against the Sacramento Kings. Reeves also finished with 11 rebounds and 9 assists while shooting 60% from 3, helping the Lakers to a 127-120 win. And the Thunder rolled their way into Atlanta Saturday night to face former Sooner Trae Young and the Hawks. Chet Holmgren led the way for OKC with 31 points and 11 rebounds. Trae Young finished with 15 points and 10 assists, while the reigning MVP finished with 30 points and 5 assists, leading OKC to a 117-100 win. The Thunder look to keep rolling tonight in Dallas as they take on the Mavericks at 7:30. Kevin, Emma.
Thanks, Chris. One of OU's own took the stage at the Miss Teen USA competition. See how she did next.
And we guessed the color of her finals dress in our interview with her last week. That long-awaited color reveal coming up.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
I'm Andrew Paredes at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Governor Kevin Stitt says homeless encampments on state-owned property will be removed in Oklahoma City. This is all part of Operation SAFE, a state initiative where Oklahoma Highway Patrol and the Department of Transportation clean underpasses, highways, and other state-controlled lands. The state is partnering with Key to Home, a way they say can connect people removed from state property to services and housing. Emma, Kevin.
Thanks, Andrew. Now, a follow-up to a story we brought you last week. OU student and Miss Oklahoma Teen USA Ruthie Ritchie traveled to Reno, Nevada to compete in the Miss Teen USA competition.
She finished second runner-up in the pageant, becoming Oklahoma's highest-placing teen since Angela Logan in 1992. She also earned the state's third highest placement since the pageant began in 1983, marking the 5th ever Oklahoma teen to make it to the top 5. Congratulations, Ruthie.
What a great job. So awesome seeing one of OU's own up on that podium. That's awesome.
I know, absolutely, truly is. Now, we've already talked a lot of weather today, but how about a little more? Scotty, what can we see for the rest of the week?
Yep, so we got some showers there for tomorrow morning, and then it gets pretty chilly as we go into Thursday morning. We got that 39 degrees there, and then we'll get warm up there towards the end of the week, and just Sunday, 70 and 69 degrees there Monday. So we got that warm up next week, but it's going to be feeling like fall for most of this week.
I'm excited for those temperatures, guys. I'm ready for this fall.
Absolutely. It should definitely make, Halloween a little bit nicer Friday night. You don't want to be going out there when it's, rainy and just a really dreary day like today.
For sure. Well, thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emma McAndrews.
And I'm Kevin Daniel. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Look at the ducks.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can